Hello everyone. Now that we've watched this week's lecture and we've discussed in our G Plus community the background about the color wheel, color theory in general, now it's time to test our understanding of what values are and how different shades of values look on a screen. So we're going to play a little game, and for this game what we're going to do is try to guess what values each one of these squares are. So let's look at the first one. What do you think this one is? It's rather bright. It stands out pretty well. So Sarah in the chat thinks it's 75. So what I will do is check real fast. And it's actually 90. And if I were to switch to 100%, you'll see that it changed ever so slightly. And of course, let me turn the control bar back off. This leads to the next one. We can see that this is 100%. And this one, looks maybe slightly different. So Michael said 90%. And Chase thinks it's 85. So let's go ahead and look. And it's actually 85. So great job, Chase. And of course, now that we know this one's 85, you have to wonder, well, what's this one? I mean, it looks pretty similar. Maybe a little bit lighter. Melissa says 75. So let's check it. And it is 75. So really great job, Melissa. Now let's look at this shade. Obviously, this one is much lighter. I mean, we can visually tell that. But what do we think this is? Bruce said 35. Abigail thinks 50. So let's click on it and see. And it's actually 39%. If we look at this one on the left-hand side, it's very similar to the one right here. So obviously it's most likely in its 30s because we know that this one's 39. Sarah says 35. And it's actually 45. So it's a little bit darker. Kind of hard to tell, but it is. What about the last one? It's obviously darker. So if we know this one's 45, what do we think this one is? Michael said 50. And Sarah thinks 60. And it's actually 55%. So, you're both just about there, just 5 off in, each direction. Let's do at least one more. What do we think this value is? Sarah says 100%. Michael says 90. And it's actually 100%. Let's look at the value on the right-hand side. What do we think this is? Melissa said 80. Sarah thinks 85. And Sarah would be correct at 85. Obviously, we can kind of start to tell that there is a drop in value. You can see how it's a little bit lighter. Whereas this one on the right-hand side definitely looks like it's, higher opacity-wise, value-wise. So what do we think the one on the left is? Chase thinks 75. Becky says 82. So let's check out what it is. It's actually 70. Now what do we think this one on the right is? This is 100% on the left, the top left. So what do we think this is? Curtis said 90. And it's actually 95. So that helps explain why the values are really similar to one another and only a few points off. So what about this one on the far left? It's much lighter than the others. So what would we say? Becky says 30. Michael says 20. So let's click on it. And it's actually 25. What about the last one? It's obviously darker. We know this one was 95, and we know this one was 70. So what do we think this one is? Chase says 60. Melissa thinks 70. Which, remember, this was 70 right here. So we definitely have to go a little bit lighter. 55? Okay. And the answer is actually 45. So, not bad. There are 2 more sets of values that I am going to have you test yourself on after this recording. Please keep this in mind as you work on this week's assignment. This will also come into play the following week as well. If you happen to have any questions or concerns as you work on this week's assignment, please do not hesitate to reach out to me. I look forward to seeing you in the future videos. Take care, everyone. Bye.